A couple of years ago, my mother-in-law went to Israel and Palestine, and to learn, just to meet people on both sides. And she came home so fired up and so telling us stories that were like, no, you're kidding. She'd tell us about this wonderful Palestinian Christian pastor who taught her We're like, Palestinians are just terrorists, right? That's what CNN tells us, right? And she'd tell us all these stories. And so about a year later, I got an opportunity to go on a trip and just see for myself. And we went all over. We met with the farthest right, hardline, Zionist, and we met with really peace, reconciliation-oriented Palestinians. We didn't meet with anyone violent on either side. We want a wide range, but we don't want to meet with violent people, but anywhere in between. And we learned so much, and it was heartbreaking, and it was a couple things I learned is there are good people on both sides, and there are terrible people on both sides. So just like humanity, right? There are people who want peace, and there are people who don't. Both sides. It is not what is caricatured to be. It's been very spiritually both forming and convicting for me, because I remember saying, well, this is what happens when you take Palestinian thinking to the farthest extent. You start building huge walls, and you start suicide bombing, and you start dropping bombs, and you start doing checkpoints and all this crazy stuff. And so at first I was kind of mad at them. And then I learned the role that our country's playing. And our country, some would argue, our country is the primary force keeping peace from happening. Again, it's a lot more complicated than that, but there is a case to be made for how unhelpful America is. And the strong force in America is evangelical Christians, the Zionist Christian movement. So I was sitting there feeling for both sides, for their lives that are being blown apart, and learning more and more and more about what our government does to stop the. So I get home. So first I'm mad at them, then I'm mad at our government, and then I start to realize, but I do that to that one pastor I was telling you about. He's the other to me, and I do that to so and so, and then it became like, oh man, I need to grow up, So it's been very forming. Been there twice. Same kind of thing. I'm trying to learn like crazy, and then I'm getting to bring a group of musicians back this June, and so hopefully, you'd probably know who most of the musicians are, and so hopefully they'll catch a vision for it and start talking.